Jesus.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Dutch Bushcraft Knives.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about something very controversial, ain't it, Martin?
Mikkie, why the survival knife is the biggest lie of them all?
I would even say that a survival knife doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist.
Funny, because you ask, why does it exist? You guys talk about it all the time. That's
yeah,
true.
because our definition of a survival knife is different than what a survival knife actually is in real life.
Yeah.
And before we dive into all that, because I really do believe that at the end of this video, you will all or mostly agree with us.
Yeah, or hate us.
Or hate us, but you know, a lot of people don't like us. I was I had to play a gig this weekend.
Yeah.
And almost always there are few people who know DBK.
Yeah.
And I love that, seeing everybody in real life. And then this guy came up to me, Nick, do you also sell strops and compound? I was like, no, not today. And not today. And then he said like, yeah, a good friend, I watched the channel and I was like, oh cool man, what's your favorite knife? You know, talking a bit about knives. And then he said, yeah, a friend of mine, he's a knife maker. He hates you. I was like, why does he hate me? He's like, he just thinks you're very annoying. So I know there are haters out there, but I also love the haters.
Yeah, of course, man.
But before we dive into it, please check out dbkshop.com. Or is this video sponsored?
This video is sponsored.
Oh, but before we dive into all that, we got a sponsor of this episode.
Oh my god!
This video is sponsored by Civivi and We Knife.
The holiday season is here, whether it's Black Friday, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Civivi and We Knives are here to help with up to 32% off with their holiday madness sale.
There is something for every price class. Sencut, the most cost-friendly lineup. But don't be fooled, the Arc Blast blasts most of its competition out of the way. Enter the middle class, the famous Civivi Button Lock Elementum 2. Can a knife look more fancy? Carbon fiber, gold shred and Damascus. Damn, this one's got it all. And for the high-end knife enthusiasts, meet the We Knife BRR15 in M390 steel, titanium handle, aluminium foil and carbon fiber inlay. A workhorse. Plus, with every order over $29 on any of these knives, you get a free Christmas stocking. Get yours through the link in the description. The holiday season ends at December the 18th.
What is the type of survival knife that you have in mind? What is a survival knife, in your opinion? Because we are talking about opinions.
The knife that you need to survive with. No, it sounds so stupid. Yeah. But why I think that the brand survival knife is a scam and is created is because of the luxury that comes with the modern survival. Because I would argue that, and if you have been in a survival situation, please let us know in the comments, because we would all love to hear about it. I just don't think that people actually get into a real survival situation, like a plane crashed and you actually have to survive.
Well, if you do a plane crash, you're not gonna have a knife with you because it's illegal in the plane.
Yeah, one of those plastic knives, you know. And so I really do think that the chances of anybody being in a survival situation is so incredibly low.
Yeah.
And then when you do actually look at the people, the survival experts like a Ray Mears or a Les Stroud or Cody Lundin or
Morse Koglansky.
Morse, yeah. All these people don't have like these Rambo type of knives. Yeah. And they actually know something about survival. And if you look at a Wild Martin, you know what knives they carry.
Yeah, Mikkie, I mean, Les Stroud, he carries like a multi-tool. Ray Mears, he has his true Scandi knives.
Yeah.
Morse Koglansky, he has like his own design. And I think this is also directly, Mikkie, the answer to what like the best survival knife is in like a real survival situation. Like the knife you would have to, that you would want to depend your life on if you would be lost or if you would be in a plane crash with a knife somehow.
Yeah.
You would want to carry the knife that you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like the knife that you know what it can do, you know what you can do with that knife.
Yeah.
So there's like a bond of trust between you and the knife, and that will be the best knife that you can have with you in a survival situation. But Mikkie, I think most of the survival knives nowadays are like mostly aimed towards like you're going on a like rough bushcrafting. Like you go without much stuff. You're gonna build your own hut.
Yeah, willingly.
Willingly, yeah. You're gonna go into the forest with as little stuff as possible, make your fire, prepare your food, make the shelter, sleep in that shelter.
Yeah, because I think that's the only reason that we have little authority about speaking about this topic at all, is that our definition of survival is willingly going into the forest, knowing that you're going to put yourself into a survival situation.
Yeah.
Whereas with a bushcraft scenario, I would go into the forest with a tarp, with a hammock, with all my supplies, with maybe a backpack to make some bread, and you know you're gonna start. You know you're gonna make like a nice camp with a fire. You're gonna make a nice piece of meat which you've prepared at home.
So the survival situation actually testing your skills.
Yeah, your survival skills, which also is fun in itself, and making a shelter out of just sticks and twigs and whatever, and simulating a survival situation. And I think that is very nice and very fun, and this whole channel is about having fun and you know, the whole preparation of maybe something going wrong, and also just knowing basic survival skills. And we've been doing that for a long time, and I think we know what knife suits that purpose.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the purpose of survival, because do we know what knife is best for a civilization in the midst of the Amazon?
Yeah, it's like...
I don't think that they are like, shit, I wish we had a Bark River.
No. I think like survival situation like that, like for every different survival situation, there is an ideal knife. So if you go to the jungle and you want to prepare, then look at what all the people in the jungle are using, like machetes. You gotta get rid of a lot of twigs. Even if you're not in a survival situation, you gotta open the coconuts, slice the vines. So the machete is gonna do justice to that situation. Like if you were in Norway or Sweden, like the Falkniven with the warm handle, it's gonna be way more comfortable. It's like, it's not gonna rust on you. It's not gonna feel cold. You don't have to take care of it. It's gonna take care of you.
So shall we just go to some specifics, maybe some examples of what knives we would like for a given situation? Like for instance, when you go to Norway, when you've been to Norway a few times, you kind of know that you're putting yourself in a, you're kind of like enlarging your risk of being in an actual survival situation.
Because you're going you're gonna go on a hike on a like a very uncivilized trail.
Just a rough terrain or whatever, and you know something might go wrong. Ooh, scary. What do you take with you?
Well, for me, I usually just took the knife that I loved. Yeah. Like I took my Bark River Aurora a lot, because I really knew like if I want to make a fire, I can baton with this knife.
It's very versatile.
It's very versatile. I know what I can do with that knife. It's like me and a pencil. No, that's not a good combination. That's not a good. My writing is terrible. Like, it's like
Martin and his pencil. Oh my God, he loves that little stick.
No, it's just like.
Don't cough, you're making me ill.
I'm very comfortable with that. But when we went to Sweden in the midst of winter, we took the Falknivens because we know like we're gonna get into a very cold situation. We're going on snow scooters into the middle of nowhere.
Very funny that we actually found out there that the Falknivens were also kind of like based on their environment, like a winter knife where you don't want to have exposed steel sticking onto your hand or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So I've been to a jungle, but I took a folding knife with me because I went on a plane.
Yeah, but if you would go to the jungle, probably like the best knife you could have there would be like a machete, probably.
Yeah.
I assume, I don't know anything about jungles, and that's why we don't have a lot of machete reviews. We kind of have knives that are good at chopping, but basically most of our knives are made for the woodlands.
Yeah, for sure. And Mikkie, coming back to like Norway or something, like there's a reason why almost everybody there carries both an axe and a knife.
Yeah.
because an axe is gonna make your survival situation a whole lot easier. It's just like the chances that you're always carrying an axe are way more slim.
But then I think it kind of like begs the question, why do we make videos about Rambo style knives? For instance, the top steel eagle.
Yeah.
And I think there's a very clear answer to that, and that is because the people, there's like kind of like a market for those types of knives, and people think those knives are cool, which is it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Yeah, it is
like
fun.
These knives are fun to use, and
people think they look cool. So why wouldn't we want to make a video about that to see if this knife actually performs well as a But so in that situation, we kind of promote those knives to the people who like that knife. But we're not saying like, okay, this is like the survival knife that you want.
And we always we check these knives, how they perform in the tasks that we like to do in our environment.
Yeah.
But Mikkie, I do want to say, like, if you think of buying a bushcraft knife, you're often thinking like of a true Scandi, like something for carving, something a little bit more nimble, less sturdy.
Yeah.
When a company sells a survival knife, that's when we do the hard tasks. Like that's when we smash them through stone, slam into a pan, whatever.
Even though you would never do that, also not, especially not in a survival situation.
But it's like a survival knife to me is like a knife that is, if you market a knife as a survival knife, it's got to be like indestructible. It's got to be tough. You have to be able to depend your life on it, you know. And maybe it's that makes the knife very heavy and doesn't make it really good to take with you everywhere you want. But I think that's the thing of that's what a survival knife is nowadays. Just a very sturdy, bulky knife.
Yeah. We were at Bushcraft Fest, and Ray Mears was doing this. He had this talk.
Yeah.
And talk is someone who translates for you. Yeah. He was just telling stories, and answering questions of people. Yeah. On a certain point, he started to speak about like the videos that were made online about knives and stuff, and he actually touched the subject that most people make videos only about the sexy side of survival and bushcraft, which is making fire. And I was like, okay, I've got a very sexy channel then, because that is probably about 90% of this channel. But obviously, he has a point, and there are loads of channels out there who show you how to do all the more survival stuff and the more unsexy stuff, like Ray Mears himself does.
Yeah.
But he has a point, because if you're in a survival situation, fire is one part of it, but it's like you want to get the heck out of there as fast as possible.
100%. Like the knife?
I don't know, like you want to do basic stuff like follow the river downhill maybe and try to find civilization and somebody who's gonna get you the heck out of that situation.
100%.
That is survival.
Like the
not
knife,
dying. That is basically survival is not dying.
The knife is only there to make not dying easier.
Yeah. and when you're trying to not die, basically, you're never going to think, oh, I wish I had Elmex instead of CPM 3V, because there's a little rust spot on my knife. Or, oh no, a 1095 will be easier to sharpen. You're not even thinking about sharpening. You're like,
but
I am very hungry and I'm dying of dehydration
100%.
and I need some clean water.
Yeah. So like most survival situations, they last 3 days or less.
Yeah.
Like the real question is, how often are you going to use that knife in those 3 days? Probably not as much as you would think, because like in your head you're making shelter, food, and you're gonna start life in the forest, you know?
Yeah.
Committing to the survival. Like,
but even
you're gonna become a forest hermit.
Yeah.
No, you're just basically 99% of the time trying to get out, and only after 3 days and your energy is so low that you cannot walk anymore, that's where your knife is gonna, or maybe when you have to spend the night, you have the knife to make a fire.
Yeah.
Like those are the moments that you're gonna make fire.
And I would even bet that someone like Les Stroud takes more risks in his videos, because he knows that he is, people are going to rescue him if he gets in a real dangerous situation. And that is a survival expert, I would say. And I think that some choices he makes, he even wouldn't make if his life was actually on the line.
Yeah.
Legitimately on the line.
Yeah.
And if even he does that, can you just imagine like what someone like us would do in an actual survival situation?
But the better you are prepared for a situation like that, like especially in terms of skills, and you're carrying some good tools, that's gonna keep you at ease. So you're gonna feel less stressful in that situation, and that will increase your survival chances by a whole lot. Because if you stress out, if you're gonna panic, you'll probably die.
Yeah. Like the mentality is everything. That's what all these programs have in common.
Exactly. So I do think like knowing some basics and carrying good stuff helps a lot. Just also to make yourself feel more comfortable.
I mean, I saw, what was the guy called that talked about cat scat all the time?
Ed Stafford.
Ed Stafford, thank you very much. The amount of problems he had with unaliving a goat was just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, this required a sharp stone. I mean, imagine if he would just have a knife.
Yeah.
And that would be incredible. But yeah, to finish things off, I basically think that if a knife is designed for survival, it mostly kind of sucks more at survival. Because all of a sudden it gets a V-edge. Whereas a true Scandi edge will be way more functional for the firing tasks, or a convex edge is more versatile with doing all the tasks that you want, and a V-edge is only like makes the chances of your knife not chipping or breaking or whatever higher, but it is not really that sharp, or doesn't cut really well, or doesn't do any of the tasks like very nicely.
Yeah.
The knives are very heavy, they mostly are...
Mikkie, what you're basically saying is that the marketed survival knives are actually there to compensate for the lack of skill because they are made foolproof.
It sounds really smart. So if that was what I was saying, I fully agree with you.
Yeah, it's like the more you know, the less you need in a knife, or the less the knife needs to be able to withstand your mistakes.
Yeah.
Like you have like a very big survival knife and you chop a tree and you miss the tree and you hit a rock, and it's a very thick, tough steel with a V-edge. The knife is not going to break in two.
Whereas Cody Landie would just grab his knife and do a push cut and would preserve all his energy and have a very nice, cleanly cut off branch.
Yeah, I do feel like in a lot of situations there is something to say for a bigger knife, especially also even if you have skills, because it takes just less energy to do the things you need to do.
Yeah, and more is possible. But then again, you get back to the whole beginning, like what is a survival situation? So I see a lot of comments about this, but know that we're basically on the same page as all the skepticism, and I know what Cody Landine says about knives, and I know what all these knife legends say, that knives are highly overrated. I just think that in this community, we all love a good knife. And a knife is not necessary to keep you alive always. I know that.
Don't buy your knives for the survival situation. Buy your knives because it's fun.
Yeah, it's like, you know what is exactly the same? And I think kind of like rounds this all off. In your kitchen, you will be able to make everything with just a stupid, cheap, blunt knife.
Yeah.
But your life is going to be a whole lot nicer and more relaxed, and
what's that, Mikkie?
With a good, sharp and decent kitchen knife.
And you're gonna enjoy it more.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked the video. I'd love to hear what you have to say about the topic, and let us know again if you've ever been in an actual survival situation, and let me know how it went. Yeah. I mean, if it went wrong, I don't think they will comment, but if it went right, I think you have a really cool story.
And I would love to hear like what do you, as the buyer of a knife, what do you seek in a survival knife?
So I hope this made a lot of people angry and a lot of people happy.
Oh yeah.
Hey, see you every Thursday 1 p.m. PDT.
Hey, don't forget to check out our Patreon giveaway. We are giving away a Falcon Even NL5 COS thanks to DBK, a TRC M1 XT thanks to TRC, a Ruike F118 thanks to Knives and Tools, a Vanguard Mini S-Sox thanks to Tools for Gents, 2 times a limited edition Cold Steel SRK thanks to Blade HQ, a Benchmade Mini Narrows thanks to Benchmade, a Boker Advent Calendar thanks to Boker, and 2 times a BPS Bushmade 2.0 thanks to BPS and DBK.
Bye bye.
Like it.
Okay.